Coming up on Verse, Chorus, Verse, last quarter of the year. Let's put our thumbs up a bunch of places. That's next.
Oh, I'm going to put them places.
I might put him down some places.
It's all dirty. Don't
Or
worry
to the
about it.
side.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Verse, Chorus, Verse. I'm DL. It's very nice to see you. I hope you're all doing well. With me is Rachel, the mediocre impersonator polio.
Aw.
Rachel, how are you?
I'm better than mediocre sometimes.
I feel like a sometimes. Okay, how you doing?
I'm good.
You went to Harvard?
I did. Harvard crew. I rowed.
Don't rock what you're not, Rachel.
I love rowing.
I was in a bar one time, and I was wearing a jacket that said Italia. I liked it. It was just a comfortable jacket. And this drunk girl grabs my shoulder and faces me to her, and she's like, "Are you Italian?" I was like, "Nope." She's like, "Don't rock what you're not." And then my friend, who was a very, very passionate female, tried to fight her. So don't rock what you're not. Also with us is Evil Copia Jimmy. Evil, how are you?
Wrong. I'm good.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was going to be something else, but
Quickfire reviews. It's the last one. Aren't we excited? I have a question. For those of you listening, the day that we're recording this, Kendrick Lamar came out with a surprise album on November 22nd.
surprise.
Which just throws fucking everything off for a couple of us.
Yeah.
Do we change it to November and December being the next year? Or are we okay with this like last minute November thing?
I'm fine with this last minute thing because I'm absolutely going to listen to it.
But what about the future? What if like Taylor Swift comes out with an album November 27th?
I feel like if it's within November, if we can get it in before before we go to our finale, I feel like all of November counts. We should go up to the 30th.
Well, no, it counts. But I'm saying right now our years start in December.
Right.
And they end in November. Should we have them start in November and end in October so we have just hoping that some big album doesn't come out at the end of November and we're screwed?
I feel like sometimes...
Evil, what are your thoughts on this?
I feel like we should push it as late into the year as possible,
Agreed.
personally.
Okay, but we're okay with just... I think the listeners should be very understanding, and they typically are, he said with great sarcasm, that there's just some shit, suffice it to say, we are not going to get to. We do 60 albums. That's good.
It's a lot of
We're good.
albums.
You guys kind of... Well, Rachel, you've kind of half disappeared this whole year.
And it's just going to get worse. It's not going to get... It might get worse.
And then Evil, you have what, 3 jobs right now?
Jesus.
4 jobs?
I am director of IT and web development for
You're so
multiple
fancy.
companies at this point.
Director is good.
Yeah.
That
Can't
that
get
means
higher
more
than
money.
that.
Okay.
That's it.
I
Stops at
was
director.
thinking you could. No.
I've peaked.
Yeah, you peaked.
Are you miserable?
I'm too busy to be miserable.
That's
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 a
okay.
good way to put it.
Busyerable.
Right there with you.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a lot of work. And the new fucking pup is like
so handsome.
the 1-2 punch is.
You just forget.
Yeah. This is also the kind of the part of the year that first we all came on. We're all fucking tired. Nobody's like with it yet. And we're all kind of bitching. So sorry.
Nah.
This part of the year, it's hard. It's hard on the significant others. It's hard on us. It's hard. People are just fucking sick of Jesus Christ. Why are you record? But then we do the finale. In the finale, we have a fucking blast. And then by the beginning of the year, we're ready to go. I feel like it's these episodes that it's the hardest. But luckily, this is one of our favorite episodes to do.
Yeah, it is.
Quickfires.
Usually.
Oh,
Usually, okay. I want to get into these because I think we might fight tonight.
Yep.
I got some fun stuff written down. I'm real excited to share my thoughts.
I'm a little scared because a couple of these albums, we're gonna have a lot of very serious fans listening.
Oh,
Let's get them.
they're gonna fucking hate me tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll all have.
Yeah.
There'll be one of us that's okay with each album.
I'm sure.
No spoilers, but I'm probably gonna be. I'll be a pretty good defender for almost all of these albums.
Okay.
We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Evil, you're just a big negative Nelly this year.
Well, you picked shitty albums this time.
Oh. Here's the thing. Fun fact, I gave this list to Trevor. He said the exact same thing. And I said, there's a science to picking these lists. And it works out well, and there's a good variety. You've got some popular stuff. You've got some stuff that listeners suggest. There's some stuff that reviewers think is a great album and we should listen to. And sometimes there's not as much good stuff in there.
Everybody, we're getting down to it. For those of you that don't know, these are our Quickfire episodes. We pick 10 new albums that have come out over the last 2 to 3 months. We have 6 minutes to talk about them, and then we're out. Bob's your uncle. Let's go. This is the last quarter. We will have the What Did We Miss This Year, where we'll do two album 20, not 2. Fuck you guys, 20.
That's so
albums. Many. It is. And that's in 2 weeks-ish. Who knows? Nobody
Who even knows anymore?
Nobody knows anything. We're pretty damn close to being done with all of our episodes until the finale.
Yeah.
We're going to meet up in a couple weeks in Boise. We're going to talk about our favorite albums of the year. We're going to talk about the best albums of the year, favorite songs, some weird fucking stories.
We need to have some people die. Has anyone died this year? I mean that, and then
we're gonna have 3 deaths we're gonna talk about.
That's it. That's all we got.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with it.
That's okay. Sometimes
this 15 or whatever, it's for the birds. It's too many.
I feel like last year there was a lot.
Say 50-50 chance we talk about Diddy dying with the finale. Before we get to that, we gotta get to the most bored. But how are we drinking?
David,
let's start with you. What are you drinking tonight?
I mean,
and how is the Buffalo Trace and how is the Coke?
It's not either of those things.
Ooh.
I'm mixing it up. I have a peppermint mocha frappuccino because it's almost Christmas.
Of course, it's not almost Christmas.
In like a month and a couple days. But when this comes out, it will be even closer to Christmas.
I don't know what Thanksgiving ever did to you guys.
And here's the thing.
We're white. Why do you guys hate Thanksgiving so much?
Does anybody have people that were here on the boat over? Or is everyone? No. Okay.
You mean like in general? Like one of us 3?
One of us 3 have anyone that's like that old generationally that was in the States
like cousin Dave? Like
cousin Dave from Plymouth Rock?
No. I mean,
I know what you mean.
Like,
but no.
My people have only been here I'm the 3rd generation in the States. So we haven't been here very long.
I don't think I was descended from Puritans.
James, I don't even know what you are.
He's evil. That's what he
is. Yeah. Some sort of Northern European mutt of
Yeah.
some variety.
That's fair.
Stop ruining our marketing, Rachel.
Sorry.
It came from hell. What are they? It's like the WWF Undertaker.
Parts
unknown. He's 7'8" and 400 pounds.
And then whipped cream vodka. So that's what that is. So.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about drinks.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's where we were.
It's a Rachel drink.
Yeah, it's delicious.
If I've ever heard one.
Sugar on sugar.
I'm drinking a Marg. I'm drinking a Margarita. Mi Campo, tequila, some Cointreau, some lime, and then some Old Bay on the rim.
Side point about the margarita. You know those turkeys that like kids make and then they have like little feathers,
the hands?
Whatever?
Yeah.
And you write something you're thankful on each of the feathers. So we call Margot Margarita sometimes. And so Henry wrote Margarita
said he was thankful for margaritas.
That's amazing.
So it's like parents, family, Margarita.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we're saving that one. It's on the fridge.
Evil, what do you got?
I'm drinking my one-off eggnog, cocktail eggnog.
I love that.
Actually, it's 2 of them in the same glass.
What do you got on top there? Are those some cherries?
Double nog.
3 cherries. Eggnog recipe I really like. I make it in a shaker and it's amazing.
Is cherry a normal thing to put in nog, or is that you're just
in my house?
I don't know why.
I wouldn't have known.
I don't think of that as a eggnog con.
Sometimes I'll put Luxardo, a little bit of Luxardo maraschino in the mix. Did not do it.
So you make the eggnog from scratch. It's not like Meadow Gold.
Yeah, I mean it's like cocktail shaker, for just a single, I do half ounce of, Smith & Cross rum, that like Jamaican rum, a half ounce of Laird's Bottled and Bond 100% proof apple brandy, half ounce of Four Roses single barrel. That's important because all of these are over 100 proof.
This is so much alcohol right now. Where's the eggnog come in?
An egg, whole egg.
Okay.
Whole egg. Okay.
Ounce of heavy cream. 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. And then here's the trick: is I make these like kind of smaller clear ice cubes, and I put one of those in there, and I shake it until the cube is gone.
Ooh.
So that
how big is
like
the cube?
dilutes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a process. I'm shaking for a while, like my arms get tired.
But you're so strong.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe like if you were to make it like an old school tray, a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Pour it and drink it. Oh, and I grate some cinnamon and
Nutmeg.
What's the other nutmeg?
I wish that we still did cocktail videos, so the entire episode or the entire part of Evil would just be
He's just
shaking like
Dude,
we'd
I
go
would be
between.
too. It takes forever.
We'd still
God
be putting
damn it.
in ingredients and
Well, it might happen. I've been adding stuff back on it, not video. I've been adding the podcast back onto YouTube, and we're already getting shitty comments and demonetized, which that's
it.
always a good sign.
Yeah.
Not joking. So that and the fact that we've figured out with one post the Facebook algorithm, guys. I hate all of this.
Yeah.
So goddamn much. We are fucking bitches tonight.
Yeah.
My God.
we are 20 minutes in.
We're going to pick it up, everybody. Sorry. Come here to have your spirits lifted and to...
We're here to bring you down.
Listen to evil shit all over everything. You've come to the right place. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We are back. Hey, it is time. 10 albums, 6 minutes. Let's do it. There's actually some really big ones that came out.
That's what she said.
Thank you. God, what the fuck, you guys? First thing we got to do is friendship test, though, and then one other thing. Come on, you guys have been here. You know the drill. We got to guess which one was each other's favorite. I'll go first. I don't think I've gone first for a while, and we all know that that's the worst one to be. I'll be the worst one today. Which one Rachel and Evil's favorites will be? For Rachel, I'm going to say Tyler, the Creator. I honestly can't remember if she was a fan of his or not, but I'm still waiting for her to really like a hip hop album. This year, it's got to happen at some point.
It's been a shitty year for hip hop. It's not been a shitty year. It's just that last year was such a good year.
It's been a shitty 11 months for hip hop. I don't know. Something's happening. And then for Evil, and I know this was impossible to guess.
Yes.
And there's one reason that I went with this album, and I don't think it's right, but I'm still going with it. And I'm saying that Evil's favorite is Linkin Park.
Interesting.
Yes.
Because of his crush on Emily Armstrong.
That's exactly why.
Interesting.
I think he's going to have a hard time shitting on anything that Emily Armstrong does. That's what I'll say. You can't see his face. I think I might be wrong. Evil, let's go straight to you. What were our favorites?
I think your favorite is Crows.
Yeah,
Rachel's favorite is Halsey. And do you want me to go with what I think is going to be the highest rated?
Sure.
Turn it around. And I picked Halsey for Rachel because I wanted it to be different from what I think is going to be the highest rated, which is Tyler, the Creator.
Oh, you think Tyler will be overall?
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Rachel, what are our favorite albums on these 10?
I don't fucking know. Here's I just took some wild swings in the dark, honestly. David, I said Bright Eyes.
Okay.
Evil, I said Chat Pile.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know. Chat
Yeah,
Pile.
say it right.
Chat Pile.
I mean,
Close.
Close. I am not a great impersonator.
Pow!
There it is. Highest score, I also said Tyler, the Creator.
well, I'm glad I get to cheat. You know what? I'm going to go with my original. Obviously, the one that's going to win is going to be Tyler, the Creator. No spoilers. But hey, that's not what I had picked. I'm not going to cheat because honestly, the points don't matter. The scores don't win or whatever. What is it? Something. I am saying that the highest score, which is very obviously wrong, is Nick Cave, Mr. Wild God himself. You guys, you gotta.
You're wrong.
Not my poker face.
They can't see your smirks, you guys.
I feel like they can hear our smirks when there's
Yeah,
that much silence.
Evil, which one will get the lowest score? Or no. Sorry. You know what? I'll start because you started in the last one. Lowest score, I am going Halsey. Rachel, what about you?
Okay, so I forgot about you guys' crush on Emily Armstrong, and I said Linkin Park because everybody that I talk to has such a strong reaction to this
opinion
album
to it.
that I thought the other ones that I don't like on this list are like, whatever, I don't like it. And not that I'm giving anything away on this, but I feel like that people don't like this in a very
Visceral
strong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil, what do you think?
I hate that you're asking me this question. I have to strategically think here now.
Strategery.
I'm going to say foxing.
Foxing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Interesting.
You know what I love about that pick is Evil's goal in life on this podcast has become to really piss off you indie lovers that tune in. And that's gonna
It's
do
working.
it.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Those are our picks. We're going to get into it. I need to wake up. I've decided I'm going to take a shot from the secret side. I chose.
Did you do this
I
one?
did. It is
Okay.
Jose Cuervo, Blue Agave Gold. And you know what's fitting? I'm drinking a fucking margarita.
Yeah.
So
You know what I love about you, David? You're like, you know what? I really need to hype this up. I'm going to take a depressant. Like every time you're like, this party needs to get going. Let's get me drunk.
okay.
You go down.
First off, that's what she said. Second off, some fucking stupid ass doctor somewhere might call this depressant, but it makes me happy as shit.
For a minute.
It's a vitamin. It's vitamin T.
It's not real.
What?
You're not real, man. Let's get to, look, we're going to start with this one. I didn't do this on purpose, but I'm really glad because I'm not going to put 6 minutes on this one. I have a feeling that we might have a bit to say on this album. So let's get to album number 1. It is From Zero by Linkin Park. Their 8th studio album, bringing in the one, the only Emily Armstrong. If you are a listener of the pod, you already know that this is one of Evil and I's favorite vocalists, period, currently. So it was fucking nuts that she all of a sudden became like one of the most famous bands of the past 25 years as lead singer, side singer, non-rap singer, whatever you want to say. I've titled each review tonight. I'm titling this review, If Arrested Development Was a Band. Here's the thing. If someone sat me down and said, do you like the rhythm section in this album? Do you like the vocals in this album? Do you like the guitar? Do you like the harmony? Do you like the production? I would say, yeah, I like all of it. And I don't like this album. And I think I know why. I think it's because I am very okay with bands coming out with the same album over and over and over. It's their thing. It's their sound. That's cool. Linkin Park comes out with the same song over and over. The same song.
Yes.
So much comically. I'm not kidding. I was listening to it tonight getting ready for this. And Amanda and Caroline were in the room. And I had an argument with Amanda because the song would change and she would be like, why are you listening to the same song? I'd be like, this is not the same song. And she was being dead serious. She was not kidding. This is such a lose-lose situation for the band and for Emily Armstrong.
Yeah.
People like me were going to be coming in pissed off that she, quote unquote, sold out, left Dead Sarah. Although honestly, I wasn't totally in love with the last Dead Sarah project anyway. There were Linkin Park fans that were going to be pissed off she was, quote unquote, replacing Chester. Mm-hmm. People would be pissed off she doesn't sound enough like Chester. People would be pissed off that she is just trying to sound like Chester. People were going to bitch.
There's no winning.
Exactly. They were fucked if they did, fucked if they didn't hear. That's the thing. And I'll let Evil speak to it now. I have more to say to it, but I'll let him go. There's just such a fucking, everything is just the exact fucking, I don't know. You were mean, so we broke up, and now we're gone, and what do we do? It's fucking every song. It's very old.
Have you seen the memes where it'll be like some weird video, something stupid happening, and then it goes to directed by Michael Bay, and the Linkin Park song starts playing? That I had that in my head multiple times while listening to this. Heavy is the Crown sounds exactly like that song. I think it's like a Transformers movie where it cuts to the credits. Directed by Michael.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. My note for the entire thing is it's Linkin product.
Yes.
Which that's kind of all Linkin Park, right?
Like you said, you like the rhythm, you like the guitars, you like all of the parts, but it's so meticulously produced. It's the problem with just how music is produced is it's so perfect and polished that it doesn't feel real. It's like commodity. It's Linkin product.
That's kind of the problem with Linkin Park is they were the peak of that. Their first album was the epitome of it was fucking amazing, but because of exactly what you're saying, like that was the peak of that era.
Right. Emily's the best when she's like visceral and gritty and like her vocals are dirty sounding and she can scream. When they overlay it over this, it sounds so forced.
Yes.
It like doesn't, there's like a weird dissonance. It doesn't match. I don't hate the album. I like the second half a lot more than the first half, with the exception of the very last song. I'm glad that she's getting a paycheck.
I very much agree with you. And I think listening to this, because we know Emily Armstrong's sound, and I like this about the album. I respect her and her ability to do it. There are times where she is very obviously trying to sound like Chester, and she's doing it.
Yeah.
Rachel, what do you think? You are somewhat of a Linkin Park fan, right?
I was a pretty big Linkin Park fan. And so with me, there was no winning with this album. I think if I did not know Linkin Park before, I didn't know that Chester Bennington existed, I think that I would think this album is okay-ish.
Catchy.
It's fine.
Fun hooks.
But it is, early 2000s Linkin Park put it in a blender and then said, hey, Emily, you want to come sing with us? There's nothing new. And like we've said, like with Emily they're just fucked either way. Yeah. Like it's just...
You were cold and I was warm and then you just did me harm.
Yeah.
Should I just do that like the whole episode?
Yes.
I guess we're good.
That's pretty much
it seems like this dude needs to get over whatever the fuck breakup he's been singing about for 25 years.
He's real sad.
Cause it's been bad. You know.
Poor guy.
Okay. Should we move on?
Might as well.
We're both sad. What do we do? Yeah. My favorite song was Heavy as the Crown, I guess. That's what sucks is Emily Armstrong's she's a badass and her voice is rad on some of these songs. Evil's right. She's getting fucking paid and she deserves it.
Yeah.
I'm giving it no thumbs. It's not just it's Linkin Park. It's actually good Linkin Park, but it's still the same thing and it's so goddamn immature it's 25 years and they're still doing it. Evil, what about you?
Favorite songs, I'll pick two. I'm gonna pick Two-Faced and IGYEIH. I like the second half of the album more. I'm gonna give it 0.5 thumbs because I didn't hate it. That's
higher than you're gonna give a lot of other ones. I might have been right.
It is. Yeah.
Evil hates all of these songs. What did we do to do him wrong?
It is funny.
I just did some Googling and it looks like Mike has been happily married since 2003. So I don't know what he's thinking about.
Please write me a breakup song.
He's singing about making a shitload of money.
Yes. There you go. Yeah.
I'll give it a half thumb too. It's okay. And I also said Heavy as the Crown.
She's badass on that.
Yeah.
That's the album number 1 from Zero, Linkin Park. Let's go to our next album, The Great Impersonator by Halsey. Evil. Take it off.
Girl, it's an hour and 6 minutes of this bullshit. I
so
just
long.
can't. An hour and 6 minutes. I don't have the
18
patience.
songs.
I don't have the patience.
But it's all of her fucking...
You know what I hate also about this? that little warbly bullshit thing that she does that fucking Post Malone started doing.
Yep.
Out of the gate, I'm like I cannot abide this for over an hour.
Highest threshold of auto tune. Yes. That's Evil's review.
Love it.
Okay, Rachel Halsey, the great impersonator.
Yes.
Coming off of the album from 2 years ago that we all fucking dug.
Yeah. So something that I do appreciate
Because
about
of the producers.
exactly appreciate about Halsey is she loves a good concept album, but also she
likes bad ones too. Apparently,
she loves a concept album. The great impersonator comes from she was postpartum depression. She had lupus, a lot of stuff going on, and so she felt kind of like shell of herself, and then she was just doing Halsey product, and so that's where that title came from. That's how that came about.
I thought it was because she was trying to channel all of her influences in this album.
So that's funny that you say that, because I did read a review that was like, this song kind of sounds like this singer, this kind of songs like this. And when I was talking to Trevor, he's like, this song sounds exactly like Taylor Swift, like play it. And I was like, oh yeah, it kind of does. And so I didn't read anything about her using influences.
Is your husband just doing your fucking homework for you
He
now
is.
for
He's
this?
great. He wrote all of my notes. But yeah, she said she had felt like a professional Halsey impersonator. And so that's a title came from. So
You haven't said the great impersonator correct once yet.
it's the alcohol. Okay.
I love it.
I do think that this album it's far too long. However, it makes for good background music. It's fine if you're not really listening. However, if you are listening, it does do a great disservice to not read the lyrics, because some of them are just really, really heart-wrenchingly beautiful because she was going through so much stuff. That being said, I didn't care for the album. There were a couple songs that were really good on there. As a whole, could have been edited down and it could have been a lot better. Also, there were like 15 producers on this, and not that,
Yep.
I mean, just like you said, coming from Trent Reznor and Atticus, like this is very different in not a good way.
The title of my review for this one is Insta Album. She advertised this by posting, for one song, she'd be like, this is my David Bowie song. And then she'd dress up like David Bowie. And that was her Instagram
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I thought it was just, she was like, oh, I just love David Bowie. Here's my thing. To me, she is who I thought she was. I was kind of hoping that the last album wasn't just because she got Atticus and Trent. And it, it was like, holy fuck, she might have, nope. That was Atticus and Trent. The entire concept of this is fucking ludicrous. It's the opposite of, like Johnny Cash of, I will now pay homage to my influences, but making it my own. She's trying to be in the costume. And it's like, okay, you remember when the movie with Heath Ledger as the Joker came out? Mm-hmm. And then that year, all the dudes tried to be the Joker. It's like really bad Joker Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
That's what this is to me. It's like a really shitty 40-year-old dude Joker Halloween costume. I mean, it's great marketing, but the album, it's such a shitty album. I've heard enough of Halsey now, which is not much, to know that this is desperately like hoping that she is the genius, but she's not. She tries, like, this whole album, she's, this is my David Bowie, and this is my Simon and Garfunkel, this is my Beatles. It all sounds like fucking Avril Lavigne. All of it. So that's it for me. I thought this was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Ouch. Evil thumbs and best song.
One thumb down. I don't think I hated it as much as you did.
You didn't.
My favorite song was The End, which I think is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th song out of I don't know how many. But that's where I stopped, because it told me to write in the fucking title. And
it doesn't even matter. I'm going all Linkin Park on this. Okay, sorry.
You're an idiot. I did the title track, Great Impersonator. The lyrics on that were really pretty, so that's why I went with that. And I gave it a thumb, which cancels out.
Up?
I mean, yeah.
What?
One thumb up. There was some stuff on there that I liked. And she's a girl.
You know what I gave it. It's 2 thumbs, like really, really far down. There's not a good song. I didn't pick a song. There's not a good song on this album. There isn't.
All right.
I feel like you're taking this kind of personal,
That's
Rachel.
okay. That's fine.
But why though?
I didn't think it was as actively bad as you guys did. And so I'm mildly surprised that you thought it was as bad as it is.
You got no dog in this fight. You got no Halsey in this fight.
I don't.
Let's move on to album number 3. And I'm actually going to remember to do the timer this time. It is Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. Rachel, did you give his last album a chance?
Yeah, I liked that one. Okay. So I wrote for my albums, right? I wrote actual reviews for them instead of just like, here's a couple opinions, but an actual review.
I love it.
This is just going to be me all night.
I love this so much.
Chromacopia sounds like Tyler, the Creator, stumbled into a haunted art gallery, started touching the paintings, and accidentally unleashed the ghosts of his daddy issues. It's chaotic, vulnerable, and so brutally honest that you'll wish you had a therapist on speed dial halfway through track 4. Track 5 hits us with an absolute gut punch. Tyler reflecting on the early days of a whirlwind relationship, including how he didn't suit up and ended up with a baby on the way before they'd even agreed
on... Wear that condom or get that vasectomy.
Before they'd agreed on their favorite Netflix series. It's raw, it's messy, it's so uncomfortably personal, you wonder if you were supposed to overhear it. But that's Tyler. He invites you into his chaos like an unhinged tour guide who also happens to be fantastic at making beats. And oh, the beats. It's like Tyler threw a party where jazz, funk, trap, and gospel all got blackout drunk and woke up in a dystopian nightclub. Disorienting in the best way, a kaleidoscope of sound that mirrors his emotional freefall. His father looms over the album, a ghostly presence who Tyler alternates between roasting and outright mourning. The standout line has him spitting, "How could I ever miss something that I never had?" over a beat so funky you'll almost miss how devastating it is. But you don't miss it because Tyler ensures that you feel everything. Chromacopia is the kind of album that makes you want to dance, cry, and call your therapist all in the same breath. It's proof that Tyler can turn his messiest moments into art and somehow make you grateful for the emotional whiplash.
Couple things.
Yeah.
Number 1, his last album was like that, so listen to it again. Number 2.
Okay.
How long have we been doing this podcast?
I don't know, 4 seasons?
You've been on it for like 3 years, something like that?
3.5.
You're just now bringing out the guns. Like, why don't you fucking do that every single time?
Sorry.
Where the fuck has that been?
I've got it like 3 more times.
Okay, so Quickfires, we know what you're doing from now on. Mm-hmm. I titled this review "Different is Rare and Rare is Good." Rap is going through a really weird persona thing this year. Like the death of Slim Shady, I have to kill my past self.
Yeah.
There's like 4 albums that are doing that. Just a funny side note that on the last album, he talks about how he doesn't like saying the word bitch. He says it 872,000 times on this album. So that was just funny. Look, I fucking love Tyler, the Creator. I think he's unique. I think he's weird. He's been buddies with the Jackass dudes. He's just one of the, he skates. He's just kind of one of those dudes that I really like. He wants weird sounds in his albums. He wants good percussion and bass. And like you said, he's using brass, he's using jazz, he's using stuff that doesn't get used, and it comes out so much in his music. I love albums that you really have to sit and figure out what it means, what he's fucking talking about. And that's this. It's a good sign for hip hop. It's a good sign. I'm sick of the same thing in genres in general. And this guy's doing different shit. He's 33 now. Like, he's watching his friends build families. He's just concentrating on like being worried that he's famous and he's going to get like shot or his house is going to get robbed and shit like that. I like so many of these songs. I like the songs where he's telling black people to embrace their fucking kinks and I really liked this. I don't know if I liked it as much as Call Me If You Get Lost, but this just reiterated that I fucking love Tyler, the Creator.
I'm glad you guys used as many words as you did. Because hip hop isn't like one of my favorite genres. I do like it. I don't feel the need to be challenged by it. Like you guys, I don't like lyrics. I don't give a fuck. Hip hop is very lyrically driven.
It can be exhausting.
Yes. I don't need to feel like I'm solving a puzzle. I don't want like music to be a goddamn Rubik's Cube all the time.
Sure.
So when I put on a hip hop album and I'm just like, oh, this is nice to listen to, and I can just vibe with it front to back, it gets a thumbs up from me. And that's what I'm going to say about this album.
That's fair.
Rachel, best song.
Who had a Pulitzer? I said Ratata. It slapped so hard. Crib so big, I need a diaper and a sippy cup.
That's so stupid.
I thought it was funny. That was great. And I gave it 2 thumbs so far up.
Evil, what'd you think?
I liked it. I'm going to give it 1.5 thumbs up.
Ooh.
Because I actually think it's kind of brilliant. And I didn't have to fucking, get out the secret decoder key and do a bunch of math to figure it out. It just was like smacked me in the face. It was like, this is awesome.
I love it.
Favorite song? I don't know. I'm going to say Noid just because that's a clever title.
It is.
Remember the Noid?
Yep.
Yeah.
Avoid it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a funky track and I liked it. So
I had a tie for best song in Ratata and also Balloonist.
I like that one too.
It was weird as shit.
Balloon.
Whoever the fucking guest person was on that, Doichi or whoever she is, she's fucking like, you remember when Nicki Minaj was good and not like fucking...
That's exactly what I wrote as a note,
That's-
that it sounded like
yes.
Nicki Minaj.
young Nicki Minaj, like hungry Nicki Minaj.
Like monster Nicki Minaj?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So good.
2 thumbs way up for me. Way up.
Up where, David?
You fucking butt. Let's go to album number 4. It is Cool World by Chat Pile. Yeah, this is their second studio album. The little Midwesterners, I don't remember where they're from. Wherever they have chat piles, right? I guess.
Piles of chat.
Somewhere where they have mining. I titled this review, Tune Your Fucking Instruments. So apparently they were reading a lot of The Social Contract by Rousseau. Kind of these guys are, like passion metal, or they're singing about anti-war. They're singing about Gaza. They're into the socialist libertarian, not pro or anti whatever, but they're, getting into like 1800 politics and shit. I dig that stuff. I think that's fun. Even if it's anti-war is kind of low-hanging fruit for music, but hey, whatever. That's awesome. I love the guitar work. I hear like Korn and Primus and Feeder, and that vibe I'm there. I think kind of like the first album, and I think we talked about this in the first one, Evil, because we're both kind of want to like it, but there's something about it that's trying too hard. It's really, really trying. What I like is I think they were going for this nightmarish thing, and that's what they fucking hit. It's super mood specific. It's super, we've talked about Daughters. It reminds me a lot of that sort of thing. Or I won't give that, nobody, like Frank. Have everybody seen the movie Frank? This guy sounds like Frank. The mix is terrible, but in kind of an intriguing way. Like I think they kind of did it on purpose. A lot of, I don't know. Evil, is sludge horror metal a genre?
it is now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have all my notes are random. Frownland, Make Corn Great Again. Shame. But then there are songs. There's like Milk of Kindness and I Am Dog Now. It's trying so hard that it's kind of dumb. Evil, what'd you think of Cool World by Chat Pile?
When we talked about their first album, I like wanted to like
Yeah.
it. I was like, I don't know, there's something here. I want to like it. I am on Team Chat Pile now. I'm a fucking believer. I love this album. And I also like their first album so much more now, going back to it.
That makes me so happy.
I fucking dig this so much. I watched some live footage. They sound, I have to see them live. They're goofy as fuck. It's like Helmet meets Typo Negative with some Talking Heads and like some Pig Destroyer thrown in there. I am for it. Front to back. Love this fucking album.
That might be the best comp read I've heard on this podcast. 4 nuggets of gold right there.
I love it. I can't get enough of it.
What would you say if I said this feels fucking dark for you?
It's dark. Yes.
But you haven't been dark guy lately. You've been fucking jacked and tan.
You know why I like it? It grooves. You can be dark, but you gotta groove, and these motherfuckers groove like hard.
They've got
groove.
that low corn funk bass going on.
The bass. There's like some Mr. Bungle on Frownland or on Shame.
Shame,
The bass on Frownland. I'm like, that's old school Korn. I am for it so much. Big fan.
Rachel, OMV.
I wrote another review for this one.
The lyrics have to be interesting.
Did you?
For
I did.
Least. Yeah.
Are you ready?
I love it. I want it. Yeah.
Listening to Cool World by Chatpile feels like getting cornered by a doomsday prophet outside a gas station. It's terrifying, oddly poetic, and you can't quite look away. This album isn't here to comfort you. It's here to dump a bucket of toxic sludge on your optimism and call it art. Spoiler alert, it is art, but the kind that makes your skin crawl. The opening track kicks off like a factory exploding in slow motion, the jagged guitars and drums pounding out rhythms that sound more like warning sirens than music. Then comes the vocal assault. Frontman Raygun Bush howling lyrics that vacillate between the world is garbage and, but also I'm garbage too. It's nihilism with a wink and maybe a bit of blood dripping from the corner of its mouth. Cool World is Chatpile's love letter to existential dread. Industrial decay? Check. Capitalist hellscapes? Oh, absolutely. A track about murder that somehow makes you feel complicit by just listening? That too.
Dude.
The whole album feels like it's being played on loop in some underground bunker where people are eating canned beans and waiting for the end of days. Musically, it's sludge metal with a side of noise rock chaos, and somehow it still grooves like a sewer rat that learned how to moonwalk. If you've ever wondered what despair would sound like if it headlined a music festival, Chatpile has your answer.
God damn.
I think we've found your niche, Rachel.
We've unlocked some sort of like beast.
You know what you've done is you have walked yourself into a corner because this is going to be expected now.
Shit.
And also, like, I'm going to reiterate, where the fuck has this been?
Sorry. I told you I write good, like the very first episode that I was ever on.
Yeah, that's why I fucking put you on the podcast, Rachel, and you haven't done that.
You fired me.
And I thought Make Corn Great Again was good.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
Good.
Best song for me was Camcorder. I think that there was a very specific vibey thing they were going for, and that song is where they just nail it. Like you were saying, you almost feel like you shouldn't be listening to it. You almost, I'm kind of like, am I a piece of shit for kind of being into this? You guys have kind of talked me into, I gotta go back to this. I did give it 2 thumbs up. I think these guys are uniquely crushing it. And I did put this and picking up where my ruined daughter's fandom left off. Evil, where are you at? I think we know.
I have a hard time picking between I Am Dog Now, which I thought you were going to introduce me as Evil I Am Dog Now, Jimmy. I was hoping for that.
Evil, I have 2 dog now, Jimmy.
I have 2 dogs now. Because it just hit me out of the gate. And then Frownland. I think Frownland is where I was like, holy shit, these guys are good. If I had 3 thumbs to get, and I might, I'm going to give them to this, but 2 for the academics.
Rachel?
David. So I also liked Frownline a lot. I did love the bass on that, but I did pick Shame as my favorite. It sounded a little Joy Division-y, and I was very into that.
Yeah.
I gave it 1 thumb.
Shame gives me that's where I got the typo negative vibes.
Let's go to number 5. It is Wild God by Nick Cave. I am extremely intrigued to hear what both of you think of this, because I think this could go 2 ways for both of you.
I wanted more from it, and I don't know what that means. How I said that Tyler, the creator, I don't want a puzzle. I wanted a puzzle here, and I felt like it wasn't there, or I couldn't figure out what the puzzle was.
Okay.
It felt too easy for a Nick Cave album.
Yeah.
Really?
Like too easy listening.
Okay.
Lyrically, that's off the table. I'm not talking about lyrically because
No, yeah.
genius, brilliant delivery. I'm talking musically, hooks in me, and they weren't coming at me. It felt obtuse. I couldn't get to it. I don't dislike
Rachel,
it. It didn't feel great. I wasn't blown away.
Didn't grip you.
No.
I have another short review of it, this one, but this one actually got 2 Grammy nominations already. This was well received, but I completely agree with Evil. Like, I wanted a lot more out of it. So, review. Wild God feels like Nick Cave stared into the abyss, saw his reflection, and decided to write it a love letter. This album is a sermon from the edge of the world, delivered by a preacher who's equal parts prophet, poet, and madman. It's dark, it's grandiose, and it's also devastatingly beautiful. Wild God is an album that makes you want to repent for your sins, even though you haven't committed them yet. It's as if Nick Cave dug up the bones of faith, doubt, and grief, stitched them together, and dared you to look away. It wasn't all there. Like, it felt like he was going for this, like, really raw emotion, but, like, didn't quite get.
It's too pretty.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and I agree. The Grinder Man stuff was a much bigger fan of that than this.
Calm down. I titled this review, "The Grief is Too Large to Express." And a couple of things that Rachel said in that review have exact sentiments. First off, he did this album with Warren Ellis, who when they get together, it's my favorite. So they have my favorite score of all time, which is the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. It's my favorite score of a movie ever. They've done multiple things together that I think are absolutely brilliant. So I think I was just going to like this. There is a part of this that feels like there's an emotion or thought that's like so severe and meaningful to him that there's like no way in fuck that he can express it properly, which I think that's almost like I don't know, maybe it's probably an insult to an artist, but he does a good job of putting you in a specific mood. He's had such a fucking interesting career. Here's what I wrote. He's too arena for Leonard Cohen. He's too unique to be a Neil Young. He's too bad a guy to be Bruce Springsteen. He's too good of a guy to be Iggy Pop. He's just Nick Cave. He's a fucking badass. And, big shocker, this is super self-indulgent. You know what this reminded me of? Have you ever seen that Dewey Cox, the Walk Hard movie?
Yes.
You remember when he's trying to write like the perfect album and he's got 100 instruments, and there's a little bit of that feel in here for me. I love how much he has never given a shit about if his music's accessible or not. And this is just another example of that. I think that the music is fucking gorgeous in this. I don't know. It's just Nick Cave, and I love Nick Cave. And I think I side with a lot of what you both said, which is, that's what I wrote, is essentially there feels like an emotion here that's not really being expressed in the way that I want it to be. I also wrote that it sounds like adult Dr. Seuss, and I don't really know what I mean by that. Who led this one off? Eat thumbs. And what you songs and thumbs, and
I gave it a thumb 1 because I feel like I don't get it. Maybe after listening to you guys talk about it more, maybe it's an album he made for himself and it's not for me to get, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I picked the title track Wild God. I thought it's very, the whole album is very, I'm glad you brought up the score from the film that you think is the greatest score ever, because that's what it feels like. It feels like it's very almost like there's like way too much instrumentation for me to be able to like dig. It's not visceral enough because of that. It's like too dressed up.
Yes. Rachel.
I said Conversion was my favorite song on this album. I really liked the choir. It was a good build to the second half of the album. Part of me thinks it should be more towards the end of the album because it feels like it's coming to a close. But then I feel like As the Waters Cover the Sea, this is kind of like a perfect way to close the album. So in that way, it's fine where it is, I guess. I gave it 1 thumb up because I do like Nick Cave, and there was some stuff in here I really liked, but I really did want more emotion.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think, look, I liked this album. It's not going to be one of my top Nick Cave projects, but I liked it. And my favorite song is Final Rescue Attempt. I think it's fucking beautiful. When he gets into the I Will Always Love You, that's gorgeous. And I gave it 2 thumbs up. I like Nick Cave. I think this is good Nick Cave. Like I just said, it's not top tier Nick Cave for me. But I think I maybe liked it a little more than you guys because I'm better than you. Those are the first 5 albums, ladies and gentlemen. We got 5 more to go. But first, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, we are back. That's 5 albums. So far, for all the shit we got from Evil, it's not been that bad.
See, everything's fine.
I'm going to say. Maybe it's going to get worse. We'll see. Let's go into album number 6. It is 5 Dice, all threes by, wind back your clocks.
Yep.
Bright Eyes.
Bright Eyes. This was their 11th studio album. Review. Listening to 5 Dice, all threes is like getting a handwritten letter from your most emotionally volatile ex. Beautifully phrased, deeply unsettling, and somehow still smelling vaguely like clove cigarettes. Connor Oberst's voice quivers through every track like he's delivering a eulogy for a houseplant he swore he'd keep alive. If this album were a board game, it would be Monopoly, but every property is mortgaged, and all the chance cards say, pay emotional baggage tax. The instrumentation swings beautifully between lullaby soft acoustic strums and sudden bursts of orchestration that feel like someone set the string section on fire mid-recording. The lyrics are kind of poetry that makes you want to chain smoke at a rainstorm. As for the title, 5 Dice, all threes is a perfect metaphor for this album, an impossible role that feels both cursed and intentional, like the universe itself wants you to lose, but insists you savor every devastating second of the game. In short, if you've ever cried in a Denny's parking lot at 2 a.m., this album is your best friend.
I mean, if you've never cried at 2 a.m. in a Denny's parking lot, you haven't fucking lived. At least a Waffle House.
What if you don't have a Waffle House?
Man, Bright Eyes they've gone very fucking Arcade Fire. Like, holy shit. I liked it. This is one of those weird ones where I like it. I like the lyrics. I like that there's like the cantina piano thing that I really dig. The songwriting is fun. I think it's well done. I will never listen to this again. I don't really know why. Maybe I'm just too old. I already have my outlet for this. I already have my Arcade Fire. I already have, I have this sort of thing already. I haven't listened to Bright Eyes in a really long time. And, I enjoyed Bright Eyes, but it was like an Elliott Smith. It's so fucking, then not so much this album, but it's so fucking deep and heavy that I just couldn't really, I hate their intros. I've always hated their intro. The first song thing drives me fucking nuts. I think they're still masters of what they are, of what they do. They're really good at the start quiet and simple and get bombastic and add this instrument and that instrument. And it's, the very neutral Milk Hotel kind of thing. There is a darkness, a kind of little haunting thing here. It's Suburbs era Arcade Fire. You know who this doesn't sound like to me is it doesn't sound like Bright Eyes. It's weird. It's fucking weird. Evil, what did you love about this?
You said that you'll never listen to it again, so we have something in common.
Yeah.
I don't resonate with it. My mitochondria vibrate on a very different level than these guys's. So I don't get it. I don't want to get it. They're professionals. They are very good at playing their music and writing their songs. None of it's for me, and I don't want it to be for me because I like to keep my testosterone levels high. I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm sure there are fans of this band who hate me. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
You know who loves this band? We'll have to ask him his opinion. Svend.
Really?
I can see Svend liking this band.
Svend loves Bright Eyes.
Interesting.
Yeah. But kind of the same thing. I think he liked what I liked. I think they were a bit of a depression outlet back then. Have you listened to older Bright Eyes?
No, I'm not going to.
It's depressing as fuck. Like, yeah.
Oh, good. Yes. Sell it to me even harder. You want to feel terrible and listen to shitty music at the same time?
Rachel.
Well, yes, I do.
Favorite song and how many thumbs did you wave?
Let me tell you what song I hated. And that song was Hate. And here's why. Because I went down the deepest Jim Jones rabbit hole because Jim Jones's name was dropped in here in the middle of Hate. And that took about an hour of my night when I was studying for this.
I want to ask would you say that you let the hate flow?
Did you drink the Kool-Aid?
Let the hate flow.
I heard it wasn't Kool-Aid. It was like it was another powdered drink, but it wasn't Kool-Aid brand Kool-Aid.
The big Kool-Aid lobby is responsible for those thoughts. That was clearly Kool-Aid.
Anyway,
exactly.
My favorite song, I said Real Feel 105. It was very storytelling, and it was in like an aggressive sense of urgency sort of way. Like it was not, but it was. He's
a really good lyricist.
Yeah, like you were kind of getting yelled at. Like it felt forced, but not like in a super bad way, I guess. I did not give it any thumbs because I did not care for this, but I also didn't hate it aggressively either. So
the best song is Bells and Whistles on this. What I was talking about with them is they are really good at the many instruments coming in at the right time, doing the right thing. But I gave it a thumbs up because I think this is really well written. I do. So there we go. Evil, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think I have shit on it enough. I do think it's well done. Favorite song, same as yours, because immediately I heard the whistles. I'm like, I don't have to pay attention to any of the song. I'm not going to like anything that they have to. And so I felt free at that point to just kind of listen to it and be like, yeah, they're good at what they do. They can fuck off. I can fuck off. We'll both be happy in our own worlds. I'm going to give it a thumb down because it's not for me. Not 2 because I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. If they keep to theirs, I'll keep to mine. We're happy. Things are good.
Bright Eyes and Evil. Quiet Neighbors. Let's go to number 7. It is I Want Blood by the one, the only, the lead guitarist in the greatest band of all time, Jerry motherfucking Cantrell. This is his 4th studio album, which is insane to me because of how long. I remember like Cut You In, like Boggy Depot. That's so fucking old. I am surprised that it's only his 4th album. I've named this review, sometimes it's okay to let the 3-legged dog lie. I really, really like this when I'm drunk. I don't really like it when I'm sober. This is old school Jerry. So there is a part of me that's always going to love this. I have, now that, Lane is dead. To me, Alice in Chains is dead. I like Texas Jerry Cantrell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like country Jerry Cantrell. I like, guys, I Want Blood. I Want Blood. That's stupid. It sounds dumb. And that's like one of the first times I've ever been able to say that in a Jerry Cantrell song. I like it when Jerry does Jerry things. And in this, it sounds like he's trying to do Alice in Chains things. I think there's great stuff in it. This is one of the few artists that I actually like his ballads. They sound great because he's great. I'm sick of this year has been a lot of this artist he's returning to form. This artist is going back to he's rocking. He's back to it's the Jack White thing. Maybe it's just me this year. I don't need that right now. I'm cool with them expanding and doing different shit and getting older. All that said, I'll take this over any of the newer AI Alice in Chains, any of the Mount Rainier stuff. And not just because it's not Lane. I like Jerry Cantrell's solo work. And so I want him to like do your solo work, man. Go to your fucking ranch in Texas and write your solo shit's badass. Do that. Don't go back to form. Don't do it. Evil, what'd you think of I Want Blood by the one, the only? Guys, he was in the band Alice in Chains.
What? That was him. That was him, wasn't it?
Who again? Overall, I enjoy it. Overall. Some of the songs... You
can't be a 90s rocker baby guy and not at least a little bit be into this.
So my take is, what if late 90s Alice in Chains, had an early 2000s Tool phase, and maybe listen to a little Judas Priest here and there. And then,
which I'm sure they did a lot.
Right.
I love
and
that.
then we're about 3/4 of a way through writing the songs for a new album and cut it and released it. And that's what this is. It feels like some incomplete ideas. I hear so much Tool in here, like riffing.
Interesting.
And Judas Priest, I swear to God, if you speed up the riff on Off the Rails, that could have been on Invincible Shield from earlier in the year.
Well, and you touched on it. I hear so much the final album of Alice in Chains.
It is the tripod. Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't hate it. I like that this exists. I think I enjoy some of Jerry's solo stuff way more than this, though. Like I want it swampy southern.
Yes,
like you were saying, like
Boggy Depot.
Yes, I want that. I want him to do that.
Rachel, tell us about the guitarist for Alice in Chains.
So before I get into my review,
Man in the Box.
Joe Barresi, the guy that produced this, also produced Tool, Judas Priest, amongst others. So that could be part of. I Want Blood is Jerry Cantrell at his rawest, an album that sounds like it was recorded in a haunted cabin somewhere deep in the woods, with only whiskey, regret, and a tangle of guitar cables for company. This isn't the sound of someone chasing redemption. It's the soundtrack of a man digging into his scars and daring you to look. The album veers between the unrelentless heaviness of metal and moments of haunting vulnerability that feel almost too intimate to listen to.
I fucking hate you so much.
Cantrell's dark world is a place where vengeance and self-loathing walk hand in hand. The production is raw but deliberate, with every riff and howl sounding like it's coming from somewhere deep and ancient. It drags you through the mud but gives you glimpses of moonlight. I Want Blood is what happens when a man stares down his demons and decides to turn the encounter into art.
Okay. Best song. Look, it's hard to get past Vilified because it fucking rocks, and it's tripod Alice in Chains, and hey, I always love it. I love Afterglow. That is the closest to me to what we were talking about, where it gets starting to get into that ranch Jerry Cantrell, like I grew up in Texas feel that I like about him. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up because it's Jerry. It's Jerry. I think it's his least bestest album. Yeah. Evil. What'd you think?
I like it. I'm going to listen to it. I want him to collaborate with somebody, and I don't know who it is. He needs to bounce some of these ideas off of someone. I don't know who it is. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. Vilified is a good track. I think it's probably the most complete song. I do like some of the guitar stuff in I Want Blood, as cheesy and as dumb as it is. I really fucking dig that song. I'm going to give it a thumb up. It feels like incomplete ideas that I really like.
Afterglow is my favorite song. I gave it 1 thumb.
Good job, Jerry Cantrell. Let's move on to album number 8. It is Songs of the Lost World by the one, the only, The Cure. Evil, how much did you love this? OMG, be careful because we have a lot of Psycho fans listening.
I'll just start by saying I'm not a huge fan of The Cure. Not saying I dislike them. I just don't, not my thing, not my vibe. Didn't grow up with them. However, I have a story. In 7th grade, I was really into The Cure. This was forever ago. This was the late 80s. I was in 7th grade. I don't know. This is Just Like Heaven days. I used to part my hair when I fucking had hair in the middle. That's what I did. And I was listening to The Cure, and I was feeling like I wanted to try some new things. Man. So I parted it on the side and went to school, and everyone fucking made fun of me. So I put it back immediately. But I still like The Cure from that era. Let's fast forward to today. That is the extent of my history with The Cure as a fan of The Cure. This album is amazing.
Except for Burn.
Yeah. I fucking really like this. Okay. I think they have no business making an album this good this late in their career.
You red herringed this entire episode, didn't you?
I don't know.
You fucking
We got a couple albums left.
Okay.
That I might.
I thought you were going to shit on this so fucking
it's fucking
hard,
great.
Dude.
Am I going to listen to it a ton? Nah, I won't say that. I'm not going to rush out and buy it on vinyl or anything like that.
You're full of fucking surprises.
But
man.
just putting this on and listening to it was so enjoyable because they're so goddamn good at what they do. It's just hearing musicians make fucking amazing music
that have been doing it for fucking 50 years together.
And I'm going to rewind exactly what I said about the Tyler, the Creator album. I didn't need the secret decoder ring. I didn't feel like I needed to be on the in crowd to enjoy it. I just had to put it on and listen to it and be like, God damn it, this is fucking good.
That makes me really fucking happy. Just when I think that it's like, it's over. He's gone to the dark side.
Are we having a Dumb and Dumber moment where I pull up on the moped?
Just when I thought you couldn't get any fucking shittier, you do something like this. And totally redeem yourself. Rachel, the shoe's going to fall.
Okay, I did not write a big fancy review for this because I didn't care for it, quite frankly. But here's why I just don't understand, and that's why. Here's why The Cure sucks. It's just who they are as people and not about music at this point. In true Taylor Swift fashion, the vinyl was released on 6 different variants in the UK, all pressed on bioplastic, which is great because it's, recycled. It's a black version, marble stone, marble with OB, white, and a picture disc, and a picture with disc glow in the dark. There are 6 different versions of this album that you can purchase, and that makes me angry. I really wanted to like this album.
This is you don't even understand how fucking hilarious this is.
Could not get into this album, and I listened to it multiple times. Is as recent as making dinner this evening a couple hours ago, and I couldn't. And I don't know if it's because in my brain it's not The Cure from like 20, 30, whatever, however many years ago that I have in my head, which I expected this to be.
Is yours Radiohead?
It's Radio Cure. Yeah, 100%.
Friday I'm in Love sort of stuff.
Yeah. It wasn't actively bad, but I didn't care for it.
Which fits well into what I called my review. It is The Cure is The Cure, and it's your cure, or it's not The Cure for you. I'm getting a lot of best album of the year. This is the greatest.
Really?
I like this album a lot. I'm stealing a review from Hey, Rach. I'm drunk too. I'm stealing a review from a friend who's in Blighty. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if she's in England or Scotland now. I don't know where you are, Jen, but this is what she said to me. So for you guys, this was one of those albums where I got quite a few people writing asking what I thought, because the people our age and a little older are very into this. As a Cure fan, I love it. As a music fan, I love it. It's intense. It's beautiful. It's dreamy. The riffs are intense. They didn't push out shit to stay relevant. They waited until it was worth it.
Yeah.
I think that is extremely accurate. I very much agree. I don't think they've ever given a fuck about being relevant. They've never had to because they've had such a big cult following, but still, it's The Cure. And, if you don't like Rob Smith, you're not going to like it. His voice has never changed. It's never going to change.
That is something that I did notice and was really bizarre to me, is that his voice sounds exactly the same. Like, it doesn't sound too aged, and it doesn't sound like he's a rock star that just fucked his voice. Like, it's exactly the same as it was in the 80s. Which is incredible.
Completely agree. Look, I'll always be a really big B-side Cure guy, and not because I'm like fucking music and edgy. B-side Cure was darker, and that's my sort of thing. This has a lot more in common with, like I put in here, it has a lot more in common with Burn than it does Friday I'm in Love. Mm-hmm. Also, lyrically, this is fucking great. If they were young, now they're old, and they know it. They're not trying to hide from it. They're kind of coming to terms with the fact that they're about to die, Yikes. Finding a way to be a band for that long, Find a way to be okay to make music, but as old ass people evolve with it. That's fucking hard. Linkin Park, for example, not really doing it. Plus, there's fucking riffs in this, and this is funny. I thought I was gonna fight evil here. Yes, it's The Cure. It's 80s. It's feely music, but there's fucking riffs in this, dude. Like there's some bass in this that is grinding. Here's the only odd thing for me. Rob Smith has come out and said that he's retiring in 5 years. This was like a year ago, but he's also said that he's coming out with like 1 or 2 more albums. This feels like an ending to me. That's the only thing. I kind of feel like this would be a really, really amazing career cap album.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Favorite song and thumbs.
I'm glad you said there's some killer riffs and some like dirty grinding bass, because Drone No Drone is my favorite song.
Fuck.
Because it's amazing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so fucking awesome.
I give the album 2 thumbs up. I think it's fucking amazing.
I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We're recording this on a Friday, and I might be in love with this album.
Oh, that's bad.
For my favorite song, I said Nothing Is Forever. Bet you guys never would have guessed that. It has a beautiful fade to strings, and I love some strings.
You do?
As far as thumbs, 1 thumb. It wasn't offensive. It was fine. I know that you boys obviously like it more, but
A little shell shocked. My favorite song on this. I'm serious. Like every time I think I have you guys figured out, it's just a little fucking. Then comes fucking Portishead and like, wait, what? Best song on this is End Song to me. The last song, it's a David song through and through. It's too long and it's beautiful and it builds and it crescendos and it decrescendos and there's beautiful harmonies in it. It's awesome. I give it 2 thumbs. I will say there was so much fucking hype from listeners and friends, which I love and I'm so grateful for. And hi, Halen, we'll be with you in a second. It kind of sets it up for failure. I didn't listen to this for a few weeks after it came out, like one of the best albums and blah, 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 blah. It's still 2 thumbs up for me. It's not the greatest album ever. And it's fun. I gave it 2 thumbs up and I still feel like I'm having to explain myself. That's the thing about The Cure is that,
okay.
Dude, it's one of those bands, man. Mm-hmm. The demographics will not change. Let's go to number.
The people that hate you already hate you. You're not winning them back.
The album number 9. It is Foxing.
Clever title. Right? Imagine a group of flu-ridden art students locked in a basement with nothing but a couple guitars, a set of minor chords, and the raw ache of existential dread. Now imagine they managed to make that sound like they're angrily narrating their own funeral, and you've got Foxing, the eponymous album that's equal parts gorgeous and catastrophic. This is the kind of music you'd hear on the PA system in Hell's Waiting Room, just upbeat enough to keep you from sobbing outright, but dripping with enough melancholy to remind you why you're there. It's the sonic equivalent of a toddler screaming during a poetry reading, jarring, oddly emotional, and somehow deeply impressive. Tracks weave between catharsis and chaos, like they're scoring an indie film where everyone dies but learns a valuable lesson about self-worth. The soaring crescendos of post-rock instrumentation could fool you into thinking redemption is around the corner, but then come the lyrics, so devastating they feel like they're mocking your hope. In short, if hell is real and has a playlist, this album is track 3 right after Bright Eyes and a ska band covering 9 Inch Nails.
Now I want to hear a ska version of Closer. Here's the problem with how good your written reviews are. I can't fucking tell if you liked the album or hated it.
I know, right?
Foxing's Foxing. I've always kind of dug this band, but they've always been missing something for me. They're a weird fucking combo. They're like a new age indie, but they're very emo. But then the dude's screaming, but then sometimes he's... look, the first song goes hard as fucking nails, and no pun intended there, but maybe. I love the piano tones that are in some of these. There is this indie coolness in this album that you can't do metal and new age and synthwave at the same time. You can't be the Killers, and it's unique, and it's this really cool blend. So I'm gonna give them fucking props at all time because it's different. It's fucking different. Songs like Gratitude, where there's this mixture. I can keep giving props, but this album doesn't work. It doesn't work. Hall of Frozen Heads, they just lose me. They just constantly lose me in this album. Their chord decisions are fucking awesome. I can tell they're trying hard maybe that's it. Maybe they're just trying too hard. And the dude is, I don't know. The vocals are fucking stupid. To me, there's just something that's keeping this band from being really fucking good. And I like what you said about the whole flu thing, Rachel, because his forced, I'm so upset that I'm, you know how we talk about in the Beatles episodes every year, we talk about how John Lennon's the fucking man because he's screaming twist and shout while he's sick.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of that. This is some fucking, sorry listeners. I know that some of you like this fucking band and I do too, but there's
not today.
There are a couple songs I love. I love the homage. I love the amazing lyrics. I love the vocals. There are some fucking killer songs on this. Evil, what'd you think?
Okay, hear me out. Give me these guys for 6 to 9 months. They're going to be on a diet of steak and eggs and water, a little bit of salt. We're going to wake up. We're going to deadlift. I'm going to get them on a stack of either Tren or D-ball.
Yes.
We're going to get them doing a double body weight deadlift, a bunch of pull-ups.
God, I love this so much.
We're going to get them. Fuck it. I'll send them to CrossFit half of the week. I don't care.
Why not just get the heart rate going? Yes.
You got to they're going to move fast. They're going to move some heavy shit around, some loaded carries. And I tell you what, they would be, yes.
Yeah.
Some fucking, yes. Yep. Some scotch, some meat, some heavy weights, and holy shit, they would be amazing.
Rachel, what's the best song on this?
Yeah.
And what are your thumbs?
I said Cleaning, which you probably hated because it had some 80s synth that it had the least amount of screaming, seemingly. Thumbs, I'm going to say this was actively bad, so I'm going to give it 1.5 down.
I said the best song is Hell 99. I did like Barking too, but Hell 99 is fucking intense. And I love the beginning where he's screaming like 1999 Limp Bizkit to like, let's fucking go. I don't think he's being fucking like indie sarcastic. I think he's really fucking into it. And I love that. I'm not giving it any thumbs though. There are too much, I call them Miss Piggy vocals. I just can't. I give too much shit to like metal vocalists for being dicks with it's the same thing. You can't keep doing it through the whole album, man. It's fucking killer. It just kills it.
Listen, I'm not talking like Tim Lambesis, like contract your wife to get killed, alienate your entire band a couple of times, go to prison, steroid level. Just a little bit to get all the gonads to drop down to where they're supposed to be, get that voice a little bit deeper, a little bit of aggression. 1 thumb down for Low T. Best, I don't know if it's best. I said dead internet because get fucking unplug, get out, do some ruck marches, get outside, get some sun, get a little bit of jacked and tanned. We'll be good. These guys could have a future.
Sorry, indie lovers. Sorry. Let's go to our final album of the night. The same band that had my album of the year 2 years ago. It is Crows, and it's the album Reason Enough. It is their 3rd studio album. It's the second one that it's easy to get a hold of. And like I said, their last album was the fucking shit. This album's different. They've been touring a shit ton. There's a piece in this album. You know, I'm happy for them for that, but herein lies the problem. Because their last album, it's very Joy Division. It's very dark. It's Tortured Artist. It's my thing. This is not that. These guys have found a little bit of happiness, and I am very sad about that.
Not into that.
Nope. Look, I think a lot of this is probably just unfair, like amazing album hangover syndrome. This album was never going to live up to their last album for me.
Right.
But it's unique. It's unique that their touring second album is kind of the positive one. But for me, this one's a little more blah. Is it better in Land of the Rose? They're on the verge of being amazing, but there's something missing there. Songs like Every Day of the Year, there are really fucking cool songs like that, and there's still greatness. There's a couple fucking amazing songs on this that I don't want to spoil because there might be one of them foreshadowing on my favorite songs of the year. I still love fucking Crows, and I want to see them live so bad, and they are about as close to Joy Division reincarnate as you can get. I don't know. I'm also that guy that I don't like this album. I like the last album. But then a few months later, I start, all of a sudden this. So give me a few months and I might fucking love this album. Evil, what did you think?
So I went into this knowing how much you liked their previous album. And so I'm like, ooh, I got to tread lightly here. But it feels not safe. It reserved is the best word that I can come up with. It feels like maybe a little too measured for what they're capable of.
Yeah.
So I similar to the Nick Cave album, I wanted more. I feel like I need more. I'm completely backtracking my puzzle Rubik's Cube comment from earlier, but I want to be challenged by this and I'm not. And so it fell a little flat for me because of that. I think there are a couple of really good tracks, but as an album, I wanted more from it.
And I think there's, as far as like you want to be challenged, this for me is the absolute most forgettable on this entire list. All of these songs.
Calm down.
I did not care for this. It was very blah to me. It was very boring. Nothing really stood out. I want to say something nice. It was kind of punk rock sometimes, which was good. And it's not that they're untalented. It's that, like I said, this album, like nothing stuck with me.
There are a couple of amazing songs on this album. I think the best song on this is Vision of Me. It has a very Breakfast Clubby vibe to it, I will say. I still gave it 2 thumbs up. This album evolved. It grew. I did, the thing where you have an album that you really like that you're unsure of at first, but then all of a sudden you're like, I think this is my favorite song on this. I'm going to listen to it 20 times. And then there's another song that pops up. You're like, no, I'm going to listen to this 20 times.
For me, there was kind of 2 songs that I thought stuck out. If I looped in your Vision of Me, maybe 3 in the middle of the album, that kind of 3-song run is sort of the one of these kids is doing their own thing of the album. But Every Day, Every Year for me is the song that really stuck out. Everything else was a little flat. I think Land of the Rose is also good. And I would, to be a pal, I'll loop in Vision of Me with those 3. That 3-song run, great. I'll give it, I know how much you like them, so I'm going to give a thumbs up. I was going to give a half, but I'll give a full thumbs up.
For my favorite song, I chose Bored, ironically.
Friends of the pod, thanks for listening, Crows.
As far as thumbs, I'm just not going to give it thumbs because, like I said, I don't think it's actively bad nor good. It's just
that's fair
music.
That's what I say. Hey, that's 10 albums. Everybody, we did it. I'm proud of us. Oh my gosh. Oh my golly. Rachel, for your thingy-McJiggers, you chose Bright Eyes for me because you don't know me fucking at all.
Nope.
However, you did pick Chat Pile for Evil. Evil, is she right?
Yes. Oh my God.
Really?
Yes. So
okay,
right.
Good.
Yeah.
It might have been The Cure. That was a close one.
Could have been The Cure. But it's definitely Chat Pile. That album's phenomenal.
Evil, you chose Halsey for Rachel. And you chose Crows for me, very understandably. Rachel, was he right with you?
No.
And he wasn't. He wasn't right with me.
Sorry.
Either. And then I chose Tyler the Creator for Rachel and Linkin Park for Evil. Evil, look, I very clearly had no fucking clue where you were going with this one. I think you were playing us for fools a little bit, but I love that. And then Rachel.
Yeah.
Was I right with Tyler, the Creator?
Well, apparently you know me more than I know you.
Damn sure.
You were absolutely correct.
Chapow.
David?
There are like 4 albums on here that this could be. And it's going to, I'll tell you what it is now and it's going to change tomorrow. But for now, saying Tyler, the Creator. I do think that fucking album rules and he rules. And he just keeps coming out with shit that I love more and more and more and more. Let's see who guessed wrong and who guessed right. The lowest score overall, oh my God, we're going to get eaten alive because negative 2.5 thumbs, foxing, is our lowest score. At 5.5 thumbs, though, Tyler, the Creator, he wins.
I knew that.
He wins the night.
Close
second. Close second is both Chat Pile and The Cure.
Yeah.
At 5 thumbs.
Fuck yes. It's amazing.
Gross.
That's our 4th quarter. These mofos don't know this, but that's it for us. We get to hang out until the finale. Rachel, we're done with our quickfires. Are you sad?
I really like the quickfires. Honestly, I like getting introduced to new bands and new music.
I like being forced to listen to stuff and sometimes being surprised, and also getting to just abjectly shit on stuff with like zero remorse.
I gotta say, join us next week. We love you guys.
Yay!
Yeah, Best of 23 won't be as good. You should probably still listen to it though. Good night. Listen to this one twice. Good.
Just listen to this album.
Yeah.
This one
Go
again.
to YouTube. We're on YouTube now.
Listen to this one twice.
Leave a shitty comment.
YouTube Music. We're on YouTube Music.
YouTube. Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Evil. YouTube Music.
It's not our face, right?
Where the podcast is, not on the YouTube. The
VerseCourseFirst.com at VerseCourseFirstPod.
It's popping.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Music. Yeah, we love you guys. Good night and good luck.
Oh, I